Close reading is when you look at a passage of text and you're going to analyze it very closely. So the first stage is where we look at what the evidence shows. And so this is our anchor chart of our understanding from Sarah Plain and Tall, the first chapter. And here we annotated what Anna said directly from the book. So we're taking the quotes directly from the literature. Okay? In the second column, we're looking for patterns. Which details fit together? How do they fit together? What does Anna not say? And so this was the thinking that the class had based on what Anna said and Caleb said.
Now, is that their own words?
This was their own words, and then we kind of brought them together when they summarized.
Mm-hmm.
They did their own on their paper, but this is from the summary. I took pieces of what people were saying. Okay? So they said this is all about when Caleb was born. And then they used evidence. I told him for the second time this week. He was homely and plain, and he had a terrible holler and a horrid smell. But these were not the worst of him. Mama died the next morning. And that was the worst thing about Caleb. I had gone to bed thinking how wretched he looked, and I forgot to say goodnight. So what they noticed when they were reading this is there were two parts to this passage. The first part was all about when Caleb was born, and the second part was all about when their mother died after his birth. Okay? And so they were thinking about this, and in their conversations, they were talking about, well, I think that it didn't mean the same thing to both of these characters. That one of them was like, oh, yay, this is the day I was born, and the other one was thinking, oh, man, this is the day my mom died. Okay, so it was pretty significant conversations that the students were having. And then over here is their thinking. And they each wrote their own thinking and their own understanding based on the evidence and the patterns that they found in the text. So here's one child's thinking. I think Anna is thinking about when her mom left and not when Caleb was born, because she was dwelling on when her mother died, because she might have thought it was Caleb's fault. Because of all the things she didn't tell Caleb. So there's a lot of thinking going on in that little portion right there. Okay? Now this whole process looks a little bit different in kinder and first grade.
Okay.
Okay? So I'm going to move over to the red chart and kind of show you what that would look like. So here I was reading a nonfiction book with some kindergartners. And first we looked at our evidence in the text, and we were looking for clues. And they were just looking on a couple of pages, and they found that there were pink and white flowers, that the flowers had a stamen, a pistil, a petal, and a sepal, that bees take pollen from one flower to another flower. Inside the flower, an apple grows. In the summer, the apples grow bigger, and some apples are yellow, red, and green. So this is the evidence they found in the text. So the next day what we did is we looked for patterns, and I gave them pictures of all of these different things that they found in the text, and these are straight from the story.
Oh, okay.
Okay? Mm-hmm. And as groups, they sorted the pictures and came up with their own labels for what patterns they found in the text. Okay?
Explain how they did that.
Well, they worked in groups, and they sorted them and they labeled them, okay, by attributes they found. Okay, and so here's some of the labels that the kindergarten kids came up with, and in their own writing. Okay, so this, they said, was a group, and you'll notice there's, they said this was all how apples grow. Right here, that this was that process. And down here, they said these are apple colors. Okay? These kids said that all of this was about the flowers on the apple tree. and these were about colors. So you can see their understanding.
Yeah.
Okay? And then as a group, they said that, okay, what does all of this mean? They said, this means we learned about how apples grow. And then they were able to tell you exactly how apples form and how the trees grow apples. Okay? So, so they were doing the same process as the fourth graders, but this is at a kindergarten level.
Yeah.
Okay?